We're again asked to find or verify the following identity. Cosecant square root of x all over 1 plus tangent square root of x is equal to cotangent square root of x. We will recognize our Pythagorean identity that 1 plus tangent square root of x is equal to secant squared. We know that because we know that the cosine square root of x plus the sine square root of x is equal to 1. If we divide all terms by the cosine square root of x, we get 1 plus tangent squared of x is equal to 1 over cosine squared, which is secant squared of x. Therefore, we have cosecant square root of x all over secant square root of x. Our next step is to write cosecant square root of x as 1 over sine squared of x, all divided by secant squared of x, which is 1 over cosine squared of x. If I multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator, or invert and multiply, I will get cosine squared of x over sine squared of x, which is indeed equal to the cotangent squared of x. Moving on to the next problem, we are asked to verify the identity 1 plus cosine of 3t over sine of 3t plus sine of 3t all over 1 plus cosine of 3t is 2 cosecant of 3t. In order to solve this problem, we will find a common denominator, which happens to be the product of both of our denominators. Therefore, I'm going to multiply my left fraction by 1 plus cosine of 3t, both in the numerator and the denominator. Likewise, I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator of my second fraction by sine of 3t. Now I have a common denominator of the sine of 3t times 1 plus the cosine of 3t. Looking at the numerators, I have 1 plus the cosine of 3t times itself plus the sine squared of 3t all over the common denominator. We can bring these together on a single fraction, but first we will use the distributive property to multiply out 1 plus cosine of 3t times 1 plus cosine of 3t. I would get 1 plus 2 cosine of 3t, and multiplying my last terms, I get plus cosine squared of 3t. That's being added to sine squared of 3t all over the common denominator, sine of 3t times 1 plus cosine of 3t. We will recognize that the cosine squared of 3t plus the sine squared of 3t is equal to 1. Therefore, I have 1 plus 1, or 2 plus 2 cosine of 3t all over sine of 3t times 1 plus cosine of 3t. If we look at the numerator, we can see that we could factor out of 2 and be left with 1 plus cosine of 3t. We would like to do that so we could cancel with its identical term in the denominator, because 1 plus cosine of 3t divided by 1 plus the cosine of 3t makes 1, giving us 2 over the sine of 3t, which can be rewritten in its reciprocal form as 2 times the cosecant of 3t.